Hello, my Spuckins. It is I, Arleblood, the ghoul next door, your favorite ghoul fiend. And today, oh, I forgot to hit record on the other one. I don't know how well this is going to do. I've got my old phone on my one tripod, and I've got my regular phone on my other tripod. So, you know the movie Lost Boys? And you know the infamous scene when they're in the vampire lair and Michael gets tricked into eating the Chinese food. Yeah, let's make a fried rice. Now, first off, let me just say, clearly this is not going to be a totally traditional fried rice. This is basically, it's the end of the month and it's a couple days before payday, so it's whatever's in the fridge fried rice. But isn't that kind of what fried rice is supposed to be? It's supposed to be kind of like leftovers and whatever you got. All right. So we got a few things on the menu here that you wouldn't normally put in fried rice. But I want to use them up. They're in the fridge, and I don't know what else to use them for. Okay? All right. Okay. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to do this, other than just for the hell of it, and because I want to, I got the new tripod, and I want to try to do this to see if it's actually going to work with the editing process. If it edits nicely, you'll be seeing this video. If I screwed up, you might be seeing this video anyway as comedy relief. Okay. So for anybody who has been following me for any length of time, you may or may not know that on my old written blog, Coffee and Casseroles, you know, I promote that more than anything else, and I haven't written anything on that in years. But anyway, on Coffee and Casseroles, one of the first recipes that I did was a Lost Boys inspired fried rice. I can't remember if it was actually the very first recipe I did on there or if it was the second recipe, because I did do an Elvira casserole. Anyway, that's a lot of talking. Let's get into this. I've already got, I will show you that in a minute, because I've got the thing set up for the, I just realized it's not recording. Okay, so I've got this set up for the ingredients, and I will show you the rice in a few minutes. I've already put the cold rice, I made the rice earlier today. I've already put the cold rice in the wok, and oh God, I don't know. I'm taking a big risk making fried rice of any resemblance, because I know that there's a channel out there, that Uncle Roger channel, where he talks about fried rice, and I don't know if I honestly don't. I love his channel. I don't know if I ever want him to see this, because I know he'll rip me a new one. But because I have a white person wok, right? Yeah, okay. Enough talking, let's get at this. She says, I am going to start by doing, I have got too much on the cutting board. Okay, hold on. Okay, I gave myself a little bit of room. Ooh. So the movie The Lost Boys, for anybody who hasn't seen it, and most people have, it's about these two brothers. My knife is squeaking. Oh dear. It's about these two brothers who over the course of the summer, their mother gets a divorce and they move in with their grandfather. And they go to Santa Carla, and it is the murder capital of the world. Why, you ask? Well, as it ends up, there's vampires. Okay. I was 13 years old when that movie came out. It's been one of my absolute favorite movies for years, decades. Okay. And the infamous Chinese food scene has been mimicked and copied in tons of movies over the decades. Okay, I'm not going to turn the wok on just yet. I'm actually, simply because my setup is so tiny, I'm going to chop up everything first, and then I'll move the camera over. So my kitchen is literally 2 feet. There's no room for anything. I wasn't even sure I was going to have enough room on the counter to put both little tripods with my phones and the cutting board. That's how tiny my situation is. Okay. When Lost Boys 2 and 3 came out, I was so excited, and they came out like 20 years later. 2 is okay. It basically just rehashes part 1 with a different set of characters. The only person who, well, I can't say the only person because the 2 Coreys are in it, and Jason Newsted. I think I pronounced his name wrong. And it's supposed to be the cousins of Sam and Michael. Hang on. Yeah, you can probably see the mess behind me. You're not supposed to see behind me. And pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Yeah, so the second movie, no pun intended, sucked. It was okay. It was okay. I know where they were trying to go for the new generation, but it really has its faults, its flaws. Whereas part 3 has a completely new story to it. Part 3, both part 2 and part 3 were taped, I think they were taped back to back. And part 3 introduces a whole new set of characters, with the only person returning. Did both brothers return it? It's been a while since I've watched them. Did both the Frog brothers return in that one, or was it just Corey Feldman? No, I believe it was both of them. Edgar and Allan Frog. I love the little nod to Edgar Allan Poe with Edgar and Allan Frog. But they're hired by a vampire romance writer who claims to want to find her younger brother, who supposedly was kidnapped by a bunch of vampires. This ends up not being true, but we're introduced to this reality star Vampire Hunter. And I just love the way that part 3 kind of shoves the face of reality TV and the whole Twilight thing that was happening at the time. I just love how it kind of like says, you're not a vampire thing, we're a vampire thing. We set the bar. Okay, I have done, so far I've chopped up some celery, some orange bell peppers, and some mushrooms. One sec. Yeah, my makeup is running, that's for sure. I haven't even got the stove on yet, and already hot flashes, man. Hot flashes, I tell ya. Okay, so I'm chopping up some green onion now. Okay, that'll go on the side here for the moment. And I'm going to do some proper onion. Well, large onion, I guess. And you're like, what is that leafy green thing? We'll get to that in a second. Okay, I just want to move that there. I want to throw that out. I really wish I had a bigger kitchen. I really, really wish I had a bigger kitchen. Okay, I'm going to take about that much. Whew. Playoffs are on tonight. I think it's what part of the series are we in? I believe it's episode 5 for the Oilers tonight. I don't know what episode this is going to be. If this is going to be an official episode for the Halloween, or if this is going to be a bonus episode. You may have already seen me do one cooking video. If so, you've already heard me complain about my knife and that I need a new one. Okay, now this is the part where I'm going to put the unusual ingredients that you wouldn't normally put in there, but I want to use them up. I don't want to throw them out. So I am cutting up some broccoli raw. Normally, and I know it's not a normal, what I normally would put in there, which is not even a normal thing you would put in fried rice, but I would normally put some cabbage in there, but I don't have any cabbage right now. I have a little bit of broccoli raw that I want to, like I said, just want to use it up. And some cauliflower. I know, not something you would normally put in there, but again, I have a little bit left over from another recipe and I just want to use it up. No other reason. Okay, this is what we have so far, right? I haven't turned the stove on yet, and I still haven't put in any oil or seasoning or the eggs. I just wanted to get a shot of the rice in the wok. Okay, so I'm going to put the oil in now and the seasoning, which I'm just using garlic salt because that's what I have in my kitchen right now. All right, I just put in the garlic salt and some oil. Just turned on, I've turned a little too low. I just turned on the wok. You know, part of me kind of would like for the Uncle Roger channel to see this. He'll hate it. He'll absolutely hate it, but that's okay. We're doing everything backwards. I know you're supposed to put the rice in last, but I had cooked the rice in the wok earlier today, so I just left it in the wok. I didn't feel like dirtying up another pan or dish. All right, I'm just about to crack the eggs and put the eggs in. And I just realized the second camera is turned off, and now my hands are full of eggs, so yeah, I'll set the thing up in a second over the pan. Try not to get any shell in there. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I don't know, I think we might need a little bit of some sort of, should I put more oil in, I wonder? Normally, I would cook the rice, put it aside, then cook the mushrooms and the onion and the vegetables, and then do the egg, and then put the, well, that's too low, and then put the rice back into the pan as the last thing. But, oh dear. This needs a little bit of liquid. I am actually going to put a splash of water in that. Just a splash. Just a splash. Believe it or not, maybe you can, because it's got scratches on it. This wok is 20 years old. It was the first cooking utensil I bought when I first moved out of my parents' house and into my first apartment. Everything's stuck to the spoon. I think I put a little bit too much liquid. Now it's got to cook down. I know you would normally put peas in this, but I don't have any peas right now. Any nice green English peas. Again, like I said, it's the end of the week, end of the month, a couple days before payday, and I'm just basically using what I have. Budget meals, people, budget meals. So, for those of you vampire fans out there, when you first saw the first Lost Boys, how long did it take you to eat rice again? Because I gotta admit, it freaked me out to the point where I did not eat rice for about 10 years after seeing that scene. I would not eat Chinese food for about 5 or 6 years after seeing that scene. Have you guys seen part 2? Or part 3 for that matter? And I understand they're doing a remake. I don't know how I feel about that, since part 2 was so disappointing, and part 3 kind of ended on the idea of them introducing werewolves. If they went forward with a part 4, I would much rather they did that. I would much rather they did a werewolf story if for like part 4, if they were going to do another one instead of a remake. And I know there's comic books out there, but I never got my hands on the comic books. What I did love about part 2, though, was that the master of horror props, of horror makeup, Tom Savini, it's a short cameo at the beginning of the movie, but he kind of steals the show. And then as the lead vampire, they have Kiefer Sutherland's younger brother. I want to say his name was Angus. I could be wrong. He plays the lead vampire, so you have both Sutherland, like the 2 older Sutherlands, one in the first one, one in the second one. Oh no, I'm spilling my green onion everywhere. No, I don't have any soy sauce. But here is my Lost Boys fried rice. And I didn't want the movie to get dirty. Okay, I am sweating. Watch me make a mess all over the place. Okay. Oh, I can just hear Uncle Roger on the Uncle Roger channel going, oh, so many vegetables, sadness. Yeah, I'm a vegetarian, deal with it. I put in about 4 shakes, like really big shakes of the garlic salt. Really doesn't need any other seasoning. Can you hear me crunching? That's the mushroom and the bell pepper. I'm glad I put in the broccoli rabe. It gives it a nice kind of bitterness. The mushrooms have a nice texture. They're just cooked through enough that they've got a bit of they got a bit of a chew still. But they're not too hard. They've got a really nice medium. Kind of the way you would do a steak if you were doing steak. You know? The broccoli rabe actually works really good with this. I'm kind of surprised. But it does have that same kind of bitterness that cabbage would have. And like I said, I like to put cabbage into my fried rice. Okay. This is, it's, like I said, I don't know if this is going to be an official Halloween episode because it's a vampire-inspired fried rice. Is this going to be a bonus episode? If this is just going to be what that movie inspired me to do, because I haven't done one of those since like the beginning of the channel. Anyway, until next time, creeping screams.